Yes, I have just permitted a gentleman to ask a question. After that, it will be your turn, please.
Yes, it's very nice to see you again. My question really follows on about marriage. We were talking before about the engagement. My question really follows the engagement. It's quite simple.
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Very relevant to you.
I'd really like to know if it's wrong for Muslim parents to practice contraception.
Yes, I'll explain that.
Thank you.
It is said that is it wrong for Muslim parents to practice contraception, birth control? The fact is that Islam does not prohibit birth control except for one reason alone. And that reason has been mentioned in the Holy Quran in very clear terms. La taqtulu awladakum min khashyati imlaq. Do not kill your offspring, your progeny, for the fear of paucity of means of livelihood, for the fear that you will be left with less means of livelihood while your children would outnumber your capacity to feed them. This is what is called khashyati imlaq. So for this reason, it is positively prohibited. And this is in fact the only reason for which the world governments are advocating birth control. This is a reflection upon God, and a very bad reflection for that matter. If Allah is a complete and perfect planner, one of the two things must be accepted as truth, or maybe both have their part to play in the scheme of things. Number one, it's impossible for God to create human beings and give them a rate of spread much faster than can be sustained by the available natural resources. If there is no accord in the two, then Allah would be a very poor planner. That is one situation. The other is that from time to time, one wheel runs a bit ahead and the other is left a bit behind, but not without a purpose, to create certain situations and to gain certain positive ends in the larger scheme of things. Now, in either case, birth control has no justification. In the first place, there is no need. In the second place, you will be frustrating the plan of things made by Allah, where He intentionally wants such things to happen for a while. That is one general answer to this. The other, more factual explanation of the situation is this, that despite the claim that the means of livelihood are progressing by mathematical progression, and the human race is progressing by geometrical progression, this is why there are so many trials for the people who suffer hunger and destitution and everything. This is one explanation, and this is called Malthus theory. While the fact is that if you work it backwards, this will be proved wrong. According to his theory, if this population is worked backward, which we find today, the human race will end within the last 200-300 years, it will be finished. So there are other factors which have been missed by him and other scholars of this field. Secondly, man has always been facing hunger at various times in history. This factor is completely forgotten by these so-called philosophers. When the population of mankind was very small, even then man faced hunger. When it increased, even then it faced hunger. There is a set proportion, a relationship between suffering and the number of mankind which is not changeable. It is a constant. What factors determine it? I know some of them, but it will be a different, a full address on that subject separately. But one thing I assure you, the phenomena works most scientifically. Allah tells us that إِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا عِندَنَا خَزَائِنُهُ وَمَا نُنَزِّلُهُ إِلَّا بِقَدَرٍ مَّعْلُومٍ. That we have vast resources of everything, and those resources can never be exhausted because unending resources are available to us. But we disclose it to mankind according to a set plan. That is the relationship between man and his resources. So if you look back at history, you will find that there was a time when the only fuel available was the firewood. And if mankind kept on burning and consuming that firewood, it would be completely without sources of energy now today. But before man had finished those stocks, available stocks, he found that under the earth, firewood had fire sources could be available in the form of coal or coke, a different shape or the same wood in fact. So it started using that energy. At the same time, there is a correlationship between human progress and the discovery of energy sources. When man entered the coal age, that was the time of developmental development when he knew other uses of energy which could only be fulfilled by coal and not by firewood. He had progressed scientifically to that stage where not just for the sake of energy, but just for the sake of meeting the requirements of his scientific knowledge, the existence of coke or coal was a must. So it continued for some time until man started wondering whether the stocks of coal would last him any longer. And then oil was discovered. And when oil was discovered, the man had developed enough mentally and scientifically to put oil to such uses where coal was completely useless and firewood could not be used. Internal combustion engine was in the process of making, and planes were in the process of making. So these things tally completely with the scheme of things. I mean, it's not just an disorganized occurrence. It is a very well organized occurrence. إِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا عِندَنَا خَزَائِنُهُ وَمَا نُنَزِّلُهُ إِلَّا بِقَدَرٍ مَّعْلُومٍ. So we go on disclosing new sources of energy. Now the atomic age started. Even if the oil resources are completely out of stock, completely finished, man would have positively attained some source of energy before this happens to suffice him for quite a long time and in a better manner. Scientific progress would have definitely provided him with certain discoveries where oil was useless and only new sources of energy could work. So the man would enter a new era. So to do something as a reflection upon this God, a complete plan, would be a very wrong thing to do. This is why Allah says that don't indulge in birth control having a reflection upon my scheme and fearing that I perhaps plan things very stupidly like men do. Because of that, I don't permit you to do that. Otherwise, for other reasons, you are permitted.
Thank you, Sir.